Springtrap. Springtrap looks horrifying with a dark backstory. Springtrap looks like a decaying, mold-covered version of Bonnie. But when you look closer, you start to notice something far more disturbing. There's a body inside the suit, a rotting human corpse tangled with wires, metal, and springs. And it isn't just any body. It's William Afton, the man responsible for the murders of multiple children throughout the series. Afton created the spring-lock suits, early models that could switch between animatronic and wearable costume. But after being haunted by the spirits of the children he killed, he made a fatal mistake. In an attempt to hide from the ghosts, he jumped into a spring Bonnie suit. But the spring locks failed. The mechanism snapped shut, impaling him from the inside. This is a terrifying animatronic with a disturbing backstory. Circus Baby. Circus Baby has pale porcelain skin, bright green eyes, red pigtails, and a wide smile filled with small, human-like teeth. It's an uncanny look that instantly feels off. But her design isn't the only thing that makes her terrifying. Circus Baby has a mechanical claw hidden inside her stomach, a claw that was originally meant to hand out ice cream to kids. Wholesome, right? Yeah, until that claw went rogue and turned into a kid-snatching nightmare hook. According to the lore, one day the claw activated on its own and snatched a little girl who got too close. That girl is believed to be Elizabeth Afton, the daughter of her creator, William Afton. After her death, her spirit became trapped inside Baby. Circus Baby is also massive, and while in sister location, Circus Baby doesn't jump scare you, she speaks to you in a calm, creepy voice. She's manipulative, and she always hides her true intentions. But if you thought Circus Baby was already scary, wait until you see her later on in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. In Five Nights at Freddy's 6, Circus Baby returns as Scrap Baby, a broken, rusted, and nightmarish version of her former self. Her hair is messy, her dress is ripped, and her claws now bigger and sharper than before. And this time, Scrap Baby will jump scare you in Pizzeria Simulator, which is quite creepy. Nightmare Bonnie. The original Bonnie was already considered one of the most unsettling animatronics in the entire Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. With his hollow, soulless stare and the way he would silently appear at your door without warning, made him a terrifying animatronic. Even Scott Cawthon himself, creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, admitted that Bonnie gave him nightmares while developing the first game. Nightmare Bonnie appears in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and he's essentially everything that made the original Bonnie terrifying, just worse. His purple fur is now matted and torn, revealing sharp metallic endoskeleton pieces underneath. His face is partially missing, showing rows of jagged teeth and glowing red eyes. But what makes Nightmare Bonnie truly terrifying isn't just his appearance, it's how aggressive he is. Unlike his original Bonnie, Nightmare Bonnie is constantly trying to get you. He approaches from the left side of the house, and you have to listen carefully for his breathing and footsteps. The slightest mistake in timing, and he'll burst through that door. Mangle. Mangle is one of the most disturbing animatronics in the entire Five Nights at Freddy's series. Not just because of how she looks, but because of the tragic story behind her. Originally meant to be a new, friendlier version of Foxy, Mangle was supposed to be safe and fun for kids. In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Phone Guy even says she was redesigned to be more kid-friendly. But that plan backfired fast. The children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza were too rough with her, constantly pulling her apart, limb by limb, every single day. The staff would try to repair her, but eventually just gave up. They started calling her Mangle, and left her as a sort of interactive attraction where kids could tear her apart and put her back together again. And her appearance, even worse. Mangle's endoskeleton is twisted and mangled, literally. Her parts are scattered, wires hang, and she has two heads, one with her original Foxy face, and another that just stares blankly. Her whole body moves like a spider, crawling along ceilings and walls. She's a broken creation stuck in a cycle of pain, mistreated by children and left to rot. And now, in the game, she's coming back for revenge. Nightmare. Nightmare is easily one of the most terrifying animatronics in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. He's a twisted, nightmarish version of Freddy Fazbear, covered in sharp metal claws, jagged teeth, and torn black fur. His body is partially transparent, meaning he blends into the shadows almost completely. You'll be shining your flashlight down the hallway, hearing faint noises, and suddenly, he's there, just inches from your face. While his jump scare lacks any animation, he is still quite horrifying. You're constantly flashing lights, checking doors, never knowing when Nightmare will silently creep out of the shadows. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Nightmare only appears on night 6 and beyond. This makes him feel like a final boss. His name is Nightmare for a reason. Phantom Puppet. Puppets are already creepy on their own, but the puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's takes that fear to a whole new level. Originally introduced in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the puppet had a tall, thin, Slender Man-like frame with a pale white mask, empty black eyes, and tear streaks down its face. But in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the Phantom Puppet returns, burned, broken, and even more disturbing. It's now pitch black and scorched, with glowing white eyes that never blink. The stripes on its limbs are faded, and the mask looks like it's been through a fire. But it's not just how it looks that makes Phantom Puppet scary, it's how it behaves. The Phantom Puppet doesn't crawl through vents or hallways like the others. It teleports right in front of your face. 1 second your screen is clear, the next, Phantom Puppet is right there staring into your soul. The Phantom Puppet forces you to sit there, motionless, helpless. Your screen completely blocked as it stares at you, giving Springtrap more time to sneak in and end your run. Ballora. Ballora is the most humanoid animatronic with pale skin, blue hair tied into a bun, and a purple tutu. Standing at over 6 feet tall, Ballora is not your average ballerina. She's built like a vending machine on point shoes, and those eyes, they're almost always shut, but once she hears even the tiniest sound from a player, she lunges at them, her face open, revealing a terrifying sight with creepy eyes and razor-sharp teeth. At that point, you might as well give up. One wrong move and you're gone. She is also always accompanied by her mini-renas, tiny ballerina animatronics that giggle and follow her around, which makes her even scarier. Foxy. Foxy is a pirate-themed animatronic with tattered red fur, sharp teeth, and glowing eyes. Sure, Nightmare Foxy looks scarier, and anything that hides in a closet at night is something scary. But there really is something far more terrifying about the original Foxy. Foxy first appeared in the original Five Nights at Freddy's as a character who would peek out from behind the curtain in Pirate Cove, before edging to the corner of the frame and eventually charging full speed towards the player. However, he is one of the 5 key animatronics believed to be holding the decaying corpses of William Afton's victims. Foxy is also believed to be responsible for the bite of '87. This was an accident involving a person who was bitten by an animatronic in the year 1987.